por dentro, Jude Bellingham, que descarga rápidamente buscando la entrada de Arda Güler y Miguel Gutiérrez. Arda Güler al disparo. ¡Gol! ¡Del Real Madrid!
Arda Güler's rise at Real Madrid has never been a straight line. It has been a story of patience, talent, frustration, expectation, and finally a breakthrough that even the most optimistic Turkish fans couldn't have predicted happening this fast. At just 20 years old, Arda has already lived through what some players experience in an entire career. The pressure of being labeled the Turkish Messi, the weight of a massive Real Madrid transfer, the disappointment of inconsistent minutes, and the challenge of proving himself at the biggest club on earth. But today, under Xabi Alonso in the 2025-26 season, Arda is no longer a promise for the future. He is one of the most exciting young stars in world football. And he is finally playing like the talent Real Madrid believed they were signing. To understand how dramatic Arda's transformation has been, you have to look back at the Ancelotti era. Carlo Ancelotti is a legend. There is no disputing that. He is one of the greatest managers in football history. But the truth is that Ancelotti never fully trusted young attackers unless they were generational talents like Vinicius or Rodrigo, who forced their way in through sheer inevitability. Arda didn't get that luxury. In the 2024-25 season, he averaged just 48 minutes per game. And even those minutes were scattered, inconsistent, and often late substitutions in matches already decided. Under Ancelotti, Real Madrid relied heavily on a narrow attacking structure built around Bellingham's central freedom, the dual-wing threat of Vinicius and Rodrigo, and a midfield that emphasized ball retention over creative risk-taking. But then came the summer of 2025. The summer everything changed. Xabi Alonso took over, and within weeks, Arda Güler's entire Real Madrid career flipped upside down. Alonso didn't just give him more minutes. He built a tactical structure that unlocked Arda's true abilities. The difference was immediate, measurable, and astonishing. In the first 12 games of the 2025-26 season, Arda produced 3 goals and 5 assists, matching nearly half of his entire previous season's production in a fraction of the time. For context, in the whole 2024-25 season, he had 7 goals and 9 assists across 49 appearances. That means in just a dozen matches under Alonso, Arda was performing at a level that suggested exponential growth rather than linear development. The transformation wasn't just statistical. The eye test confirmed what the numbers suggested. Arda looked like a completely different player. The data from Total Football Analysis highlighted that Arda's per 90 numbers exploded under Alonso. 0.53 goals per 90 and 0.40 assists per 90. Those are elite-tier outputs for a young creative midfielder or inverted winger, and his market value has already risen to 45 million euros, trending upward each month. Throughout Spanish media, the question echoed everywhere. Is Arda Güler the next Real Madrid superstar? This performance didn't come out of nowhere. Arda's success is the result of a tactical shift that aligns perfectly with his strengths. Xabi Alonso uses a system that blends possession structure with dynamic vertical movement. On the right wing, Arda is free to drift inside, receive between the lines, and operate like a hybrid of a playmaker and an inside forward. He's no longer shackled to the central attacking midfield role, where he faced too much traffic or defensive responsibility. Instead, he operates in pockets where his creativity is maximized. Another major storyline that fueled Arda's rise was the £80 million bid from Newcastle. When the news broke, it sent shockwaves through European football. Newcastle believed Arda was undervalued, underused, and ready to explode. And they weren't wrong. But the most important part of this story isn't the bid itself, it's Real Madrid's response. They didn't even entertain it. No meetings, no negotiation, no slow-played counteroffers. They simply rejected it outright because they believe Arda Güler is not just a squad option. He is the future of their attack. A huge part of this breakthrough is also psychological. Arda has shed the uncertainty, the hesitation, and the fear of making mistakes. There is a sharpness to his play now, a courage that only comes when a coach believes in you. And Xabi Alonso has made that belief public. He has praised Arda repeatedly in post-match interviews, highlighted his intelligence, and emphasized how his game-reading ability fits perfectly into Real Madrid's evolving identity. It's important to remember how young Arda is. Only 20 years old. The Turkish Messi nickname that once felt like a burden is now starting to feel more like an expectation he is capable of living up to. His heroics at Euro 2024, where he dazzled with Turkey and became one of the tournament's breakout stars, only added to his meteoric rise. That tournament alone earned him millions of fans. With 12.8 million Instagram followers, Arda is not just a footballer, he is a global brand in the making, a star whose influence reaches beyond the pitch. But behind this sudden success lies the hard, often overlooked part of his story. His relentless preseason work, his injury recovery, and his mental toughness. There were doubts about his fitness, concerns about his durability, and questions about whether he could sustain high-intensity football. Instead of collapsing under that pressure, Arda used it as motivation. Reports from Madrid's training camps described him as one of the most hard-working players, spending extra hours sharpening his shooting, studying game footage, and building physical strength. His body now looks more mature, more stable, and better suited to the demands of elite football. The timing of Arda's explosion is also significant because Real Madrid is at the start of a new cycle. Bellingham remains the centerpiece. Vinicius is entering his prime. Rodrigo continues to be a world-class contributor. Endrick has joined the team with massive expectations. In this competitive attacking environment, for Arda to emerge as a genuine starter is not just impressive, it's remarkable. It shows that his quality is undeniable and his ceiling is sky-high. But Real Madrid's trust in him goes deeper than just the starting nuance. Their refusal to sell him, their public praise, their tactical adaptation, all of it signals that they see Arda as part of the club's long-term identity. Madrid has never been shy about buying or selling players, even big names. But with Arda, they made it clear, he is not for sale, not even for £80 million. And that is the strongest endorsement a young player can receive. But even with all the tactical structure, all the statistical proof, and all the glowing comparisons, what makes Arda Güler's rise so captivating is something you can't measure with XG, heat maps, or progressive carries. It's the emotional weight of his journey, the feeling that every time he touches the ball, he's carrying years of expectations from Turkey, the demands of Real Madrid, and the pressure of a new generation waiting for its hero. Some players rise through stability, support, and predictable development curves. Arda's path has been the opposite. It has been chaos, interruptions, uncertainty, and flashes of brilliance that demanded patience from a club that rarely waits for anyone. And that is what makes the Xabi Alonso era so important. For the first time in his Real Madrid career, Arda was not being treated as a luxury project or an optional rotation piece. He was being treated like a player who could define games, who could be decisive in big moments, and who deserved the responsibility of being part of a system built around his strengths. In interviews, former coaches in Turkey have said for years that Arda is the type of player who needs rhythm, routine, and repetition. He grows when he plays frequently, not when he is given isolated cameos. Under Ancelotti, he had to prove himself in moments. Under Alonso, he has been allowed to grow through momentum. And that shift, from proving to progressing, is what unlocked the difference between the Arda who struggled for involvement in 2024 to 2025 and the Arda who now looks like one of the most influential young creators in Europe. You can also see the psychological change. Last season, he played like someone aware of the spotlight, trying to justify every minute with a moment of magic. This season, he plays like someone who trusts the system around him, someone who knows that if he keeps making the right decisions, the moments of magic will come naturally, and they have. The Barcelona performance alone showed a maturity beyond his age, choosing when to accelerate, when to hold the ball, when to drift centrally, when to overlap the right back, when to cut inside, and when to stretch the line. These are choices that come from confidence, not fear. And that confidence is what Real Madrid fans have been waiting to see. Even within the squad, Arda's transformation is noticeable. Journalists close to the club have reported that senior players have begun describing him as undroppable, not because of hype, but because the team simply functions better with him. His movements open passing lanes for Bellingham. His positioning stabilizes Valverde's forward runs. His presence on the right gives Rodrigo freedom to drift centrally, and his technical ability ensures that Madrid always has a reliable ball carrier in tight spaces, a weapon they desperately need against low blocks. The psychological weight of being labeled the Turkish Messi has also shifted from burden to advantage. In the beginning, it felt like an anchor, a label that set impossibly high expectations and invited constant comparison. But now Arda uses it as motivation. He has openly acknowledged that he does not want to be Messi. He wants to be Arda Güler, and ironically, that is exactly what makes him stand out. He is his own type of player, less explosive than Messi, more delicate in movement, more dependent on rhythm and timing. He plays with a calm intensity, like a chess player disguised as a winger. His international profile adds another layer. Turkey views him as a generational talent, and his performances at Euro 2024, especially that world-class goal that became one of the tournament's top highlights. This is precisely why Real Madrid rejected the £80 million Newcastle bid. Financially, it made sense. Madrid rarely turned down offers of that size for players who are not guaranteed starters. But Arda represents something more. He is the club's bridge to a new fan base, a symbol of the next cycle, and a player whose ceiling is still unknown. Florentino Perez has always been obsessed with potential, with signing players before they explode. After years of waiting, Arda is finally starting that explosion in real time. But the journey is not over. One of the biggest questions now is sustainability. Can Arda maintain this level across an entire season? Can he stay injury-free? Can he grow physically to survive the intensity of La Liga, the Champions League, and international competitions? His talent has never been in doubt, but his durability has. This is where Real Madrid's medical team and Xabi Alonso's training methods will be crucial. They are easing him into more consistent minutes without overwhelming him physically, allowing his body to adapt to the demands of top-tier European football. The season is long. The expectations are enormous. The pressure will only grow. But for the first time since he arrived in Madrid, Arda Güler looks ready to become not just a promising talent, but a central figure in Real Madrid's future. His breakthrough is not a moment, it's a beginning. And if this is what the beginning looks like, the football world has no idea what's coming next.